It's kind of hard to believe that the Switch has been out for 6 years. I mean, it feels like it was just yesterday that the Switch came out, and it was just amazing. And now here we are 6 years later. We got the Switch Lite, the OLED, a mid-season refresh of the original Switch. It's been insane. It's hard to believe that we've come so far with the Switch. And I think we should take a moment and look back at the last year of the Nintendo Switch's life, considering we're now in the last year of the Switch's life, probably, judging by all the rumors that have been coming out lately. So, just to clarify, this won't be an all-encompassing, won't be going through all of the games that came out this year. This is my year with the Nintendo Switch. And it won't be a lot, because I'll be honest, there wasn't a lot that caught my eye in the last year. And I think we should start at the beginning of the year with Pokemon Legends of Arceus. And I don't know if you've watched my previous videos on the Switch games and stuff, but I haven't had a very kind view of the Nintendo Switch's Pokemon games. And I'll be honest, I kind of forgot Arceus existed. But it was a great game. Like, the game was truly fantastic. And I was kind of surprised with how it came out. It looks terrible. I think this is one of the ugliest Pokemon games I've ever played. But it was such a different experience. And just seeing all the Pokemon in the wild and just running up and catching them without having to fight. I thought it was really cool and interesting new way to take on the game. And having now I wouldn't say prehistoric, Edo era, Sinnoh region is really cool. I thought the story was pretty good. A little hammy in some spots, but that's every Pokemon game. So, but in general, I would give this probably like a 10 out of 10. It was a great Pokemon game. Probably the best one we have on Switch, because the rest are terrible. And this is, something different, something new, something that I feel like they wanted to make. Then when Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out, they just kind of shit that one out because, we have to do the remake. Shit, forgot. And they focused all their attention on Arceus, and then just passed on the remakes to, I think, Camelot, the people who make the Mario Party games, or at least the bad ones, I think. Put in the comments if I'm wrong about that, because I'm too lazy to do the research now. But moving along, in April, I got LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This might be a weird one, because the game took like an extra year to come out on Switch. But I waited for it to come to Switch because all my LEGO games were bought on my Switch, and I played them with my brother. Like, my very first game I remember playing was LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga on GameCube. And that was a great game, and a ton of memories. I remember on the Wii having the Clone Wars games. I remember on my DS, I had the DS version of The Complete Saga. Straight up couldn't get past Hoth. That was incredibly difficult. But this was such a, momentous occasion. It has all of the movies in one game. And I was so excited. It looked amazing graphically. It's beautiful. And I was so impressed with all the trailers and stuff. But it was just, the Switch version is so bad. It's like, why is it this terrible? Why does it run so god-awfully? I couldn't understand it. Gameplay-wise, it was great, but for me, I had constant frame rate problems. The game was in portable mode, looked like it was running at 240p for Christ's sake. The game just wasn't, done. It felt unfinished, I think is what I'm trying to say, because this game needed to be baked a little bit longer, because they sure as fuck pulled it out raw. Because holy cow, there weren't any fundamental, game design flaws. It was a great game. I had a lot of fun. I love the more open world design. The new blaster combat was amazing. More improved saber combat was awesome. I thought it was great. I loved being able to actually have voice acting instead of the traditional Lego mumbles. That is a controversial take. A lot of people didn't like the fact that it had voice acting, but appreciated the fact that it had the alternate, Lego speech mode. And I liked the voice acting. It was really nice. And it was just so cool to have such a large and expansive Lego Star Wars game. But I just don't understand why it ran so terribly. And you'll see that be a common trend in the last year of Nintendo Switch games. It's just the Switch not being able to keep up with the times, hardware-wise. And I don't entirely blame Nintendo for this, because Arceus shouldn't have looked and ran as it did. That is 100% on Game Freak's fault, because it's a fucking Pokemon game. It shouldn't run that. It's not. Pokemon isn't known for being graphically intensive or, awe-inspiring beauty. It's just Pokemon. For Christ's sake, they could have gone back to pixel art and everybody would have ate that shit up. Pokemon had no excuse to look the way it did. This, I kind of get it. For, Skywalker Saga, I kind of get it. But for the most part, I was just kind of disappointed. And it just called, I turned around after a few minutes of playing it. I was like, I'm just going to buy it on PC. And I did. And it is so fucking beautiful. I know it's, you shouldn't compare a proper gaming PC to the Nintendo Switch, but come on. The gap was so big, and it's just a Lego game. Once again, Lego games aren't known for being beautiful, but for some reason, the Switch just made this game look terrible. But I think, in the end, it was still a good game, and if it was your only way to play it, it's not the worst way to play it. Because, I remember back in the day having to play the mobile version of some Lego games, and that was just terrible. Carrying on, this might be another weird one, considering I also owned this one on several other platforms, and I didn't really like it then, but my opinion has changed. I bought No Man's Sky, and it was an experience. My brother bought it on his Switch, and he convinced me to get it because he said the game has changed, it's been updated, and I too have heard about all the updates, No Man's Sky Next, and they got that big multiplayer update, and that big base building update, shipbuilding update, and it was crazy, and I was seeing all that stuff, I'm like, cool. I gave up on that game when it first came out, not going back to it now, but my brother convinced me to get it, and yeah, the game has gotten a lot better. It was actually kind of fun, and it ran great on Switch. I was thoroughly impressed. This game went from just absolute poodoo to, frankly, a great game. I was really lost for the most part about the story content, but, just dicking around space, buying and building ships, building a base, just doing whatever I want. It was kind of fun. It's just a pure sandbox game. I was able to kill 50 hours in it playing with my brother, just running around, fighting and killing stuff, mining, and finding planets. It was a lot of fun. But I think I had my fill, and the game now, I can't really see myself going back to it. But I would give it a solid 6 out of 10. And lastly, the last game that I played in year 6 of the Nintendo Switch, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Frankly, this was an amazing 3D platformer, and I was so impressed visually, gameplay-wise. I never thought I would like a Kirby game that much, because I had Kirby, Dreamland and all the ones on the Game Boy Advance and the Super Nintendo. I've played them in emulators to death. They were fine games. I didn't play the one on the N64 because it looked bad. Didn't like the ones on the Wii that much. Didn't like the 3DS ones that much. But when I saw the trailer for this game, I was like, wow, this is a very big change. This is like Kirby's Breath of the Wild. It was insane. I was so happy seeing this game. It looked like a lot of fun. I was super excited. And it came out, and it was amazing. I was so happy this game came out good. And seeing there was another 3D platform on the Switch, I was like, yes! The game was beautiful. The boss fights were so fun, and being able to suck in anything and become it. Like the car and the vending machine, it was so cool. And, you know, all of the power-ups you could get, it was a lot of fun. You know, and, you know, sitting in the living room playing with my family, just them mostly watching me, and it was just so much fun. It was such an appealing game. It was such a long time coming for Kirby. Kirby has really become probably a more popular franchise because of this game. And I just can't wait to see more Kirby, because it was really fun, and I hope they make a sequel in the same style, because this was an amazing game in a great way for me to end my year with the Nintendo Switch. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and thanks again for all the support. Didn't expect anybody to actually watch any of my videos, so I want to say thank you again, and don't forget to have a great day.